Okay, I'm going to try to make a little bit of a better video explaining, I think, maybe the best way to kill Simon. I don't know about other ways. I think this is good enough, given the extent of the damage nerf. Um, oh, right, okay, I'm going to make maybe a better video, explain the setup on how to kill Simon. With like not too much grinding or just like a minimal like things required setup. This is the best thing I could figure out. After the patch came out, I couldn't help myself. I wanted to see if it could still be done because, you know, and yeah, it can. It's just, again, you need roulette, and compared to the previous patch, there's more steps, and you need to do two characters. Specifically, you're still going to want Mael, and nothing has changed about her setup from last time. It's still Stendhal, that still has the highest damage out of every skill, and you still want Last Chance. This time you're gonna need Cheater though, and you're gonna need High Speed. Here I have 2500. I don't know what the breakpoint is, but what I did was you go to your Picto list. You look for the ones that have the highest speed rating. I could take shortcut too. Doesn't matter. Whatever has the highest speed rating, and you probably want to take Cheater because it has speed, but more importantly because it costs like 40 Lumina to put that on. So I think you gotta take Cheater as a Picto. And alright, I'm not gonna go through every required ability. Just if you have the ones on the list, just put them in. It's how much was it? 145. Like, that's not a lot. Essentially, you just want to stack as many sources of increased damage, okay, that is not conditional. I mean, you can meet the condition right away. But more importantly, you absolutely must have all the more damage sources. Like this one, first offensive, first hit 50% more, glass cannon, same as last time. There's a few other ones. I forgot to mention it. Solo Fighter. Death's Door. When you add all these numbers up, it's like a 3 to 4 times, maybe 5 times, I don't know, multiplier on your overall damage. That's why you need them. So, like, you absolutely, and of course you need roulette because 100% more damage, you can't beat that. Like, I think if you think in their heads, they have to design a one-shot thing around this item. They have to, otherwise this item has no purpose. So, if there's gonna be a one-shot build, like for the minimum grinding, roulette will always be included because the damage bonus is so massive. You know, I mean, if you're not gonna take this, you're gonna have to make up for double your damage in some other way, which is very tough. So Mael is the same as before. Now we take Sciel and try to cleverly use her to just appear when necessary and get out of our party when not. To just offer where's the skill here? Fortune's Fury. That's what it's called. Double damage for one turn. So after damage nerfs, this is what's going to make up for it. Fortune's Fury. But not just Fortune's Fury. That's not even enough. You'll need Marking Card too. This, I checked this. Mark. How much more damage does Mark do? Like when a Mark target's hit. It's 50% increased damage taken. And that's how I know these guys play Path of Exile. Any PoE player will tell you, well, if you don't have any other sources of damage and increased damage taken, that is also equivalent to a 50% more damage. So this, with this, is going to make Mael do a whopping 2x times 1.5x, 3x damage. right? So you gotta have Sciel, because she will multiply Mael's damage by 3, which will be enough to overcome the damage nerf. The only trick, of course, is can you get all these things pulled off, and you know, can you still be in a state where Mael is solo and has the damage buffs from Sciel, and still has to be dead at that point, because otherwise she can't be solo? And the answer is yes, in a very specific set of steps. But whereas before it was more like a 50-50 to kill him, the first kill was guaranteed, the second one was not. This time, first kill is not guaranteed. He might target Mael in the second phase, so there's no guarantee there. And your final blow may also be not guaranteed. So, all right. So first round, I just stand off. Hurry it up. You get it or you don't get it. You don't get it. Okay, 5 mil, not enough. I just reload. No point in. It's faster. The number of steps you have to take to get back a damage number like that won't happen. I mean, you'll be dodging for sure. So again, alright, first check passed. So, you know, this whole idea was not just, it's easy to come up with, knowing that the damage numbers you get from this game, there's no variability. Unlike other ARPGs where they put like a damage range, because there it's like, you know, you can repeat your attack many times, so it's more fun with randomness. But this is turn-based. There's no randomness. Any attack in a certain set of conditions is going to do exactly X damage every time. All you have to do is figure out how to multiply it with mechanics to exceed a certain number. In this case with Simon, it's about 50 million. So, first round, if I remember, yeah, you gotta revive. It's gotta be in this order. You gotta revive Sciel. Next turn, because you want your next turn, that one after, if it comes, you want to be in virtuos mode already. You don't have, you can't use last chance, because you'll see why. Now she'll go first, for sure, because of first attack. Here you just buff, make sure you buff her with Fortune's Fury. Okay. Next turn, you mark Simon. And hope he doesn't attack Mael. And he did. And he did. So, retake. At this point, it's over. You failed the second attack, so. Okay. $11,000 damage. Crazy. Like, here's my philosophy. You see a number like that, it's like, do you know how much defense you have to stack, like, in order to tank stuff? And you're not even supposed to tank that, right? Because in this game, there's an assumption that you could, theoretically, if you timed it well enough, you could dodge all of those things, right? But that number, 11K. Now, granted, I don't have any damage reduction on Sciel at all. But even if you put that by like 80%, that's still like what, like, oof, that's still like 2K damage per hit. Yeah. No wonder why it's a nightmare. I'm pretty sure I haven't even watched people struggle with this fight. I imagine it's a lot of reviving, you know, like always being on a back foot. I think this way is more tolerable. Let's just put it that way. 'Cause, yeah, well, it's like gambling, you know. It's gambling, it's repeatable. You will not feel bad about yourself because that's the biggest benefit. You won't feel bad about yourself. You won't feel like your ass has been kicked. You just feel, okay, well, I lost a coin toss. Big deal. Let's do it again, right? Argument for like, okay, but you're not fighting the boss. Right. If this boss was semi-fair, and look, I've seen a lot of toxic stuff, not just in this game, but a lot of like other games too, where like everything's a dick measuring contest. Like, you know, oh, and dude, you're not playing on hard. What's your problem? Like, oh my god, like, I don't know, man. Is this some 4D chess going on where like everyone's rage baiting each other these days because they want attention? That's my own explanation, because I can't believe people are that shallow. So I'm gonna assume they're all just, they're smart people trying to rage bait others into like reacting. But yeah, like, this boss is not fair. Okay, is like, the borderline for unfair for me was something like a boss like Millennia in Elden Ring. I mean, that was still good. It was still like, why that game is so good and I praise it so much is because no matter how hard the boss was, the game never failed to make you feel like, okay, but if you tried, you could do it. Alright? Like, there are times where it makes you feel like, holy crap, there's no way, right? But there's like this implicit trust. I don't know what it is. It's a very delicate thing, and it doesn't come by easily. All the bosses you've experienced so far, and knowing that there's that guy, is his name Miyazaki? He's behind the whole thing. He's not gonna troll you with an unbeatable boss, right? So, in this game though, I don't know. I've tried Simon, believe me, I've tried him, and it's like, give me a break. His attack strings are so endless and like, they're all coded to be like high damage, nearly one-shots. So, the other challenge though that comes from this is, can you outbuild him? And I think that's the fun part actually. This little mini game, this alternate game you might even say, I think it's really fun because, you know, it's a different way to approach the challenge, essentially. I mean, I guess it's okay that it's gated behind a 1 in 8 chance. That's fair. He's the pinnacle boss, right? I mean, it was kind of stupid how he was like, kind of like, almost always killable first round. Yeah, okay, good. Here we go again, huh? This is what, like fourth time? Fourth time's the charm? So when you get to this point, you got the X, you got Virtuo's Mael, she's never attacked, so you get all the first attack bonuses. She's alone. Sciel is dead, so you're alone. That was the hard part. You are now one coin toss away from one-shotting Simon. Let's see if the magic happens. Sad. Sad. But you see, how you know you'll be fine, even if the damage was only up to here, where my mouse is, or even here, you're good. Because what roulette does, it's half or double damage. So we got the half damage roll, and it was here. So what that means is you got the other side of that roll. 1, 2, 3. That's how much damage a big roulette roll would do, right? So really what you need is not to be here though. Here would be very sad. Well, actually if you were here, you could probably finish him off some other way. But you want to be across, you want this hit, the bad hit, to at least cross this line. And if you do, you know you're just one coin toss away from beating him. So, okay. This is more like the average. You expect like 8 to 10 tries. I'm 8 tries, but I mean, I'm just gonna be pessimistic. You know, it could be 10 tries, it could be 12. Probability's not guaranteeing you like a successful result in 8 tries, just because 1 out of 8. But you would expect it, eventually, something like that. And you know, you can just like zone out of the fight, kind of think about something else in life, just until you get it. Like gambling, visual gambling. And it's the same steps every time. You're not like, oh my god, dodge, dodge, dodge. You're like, you know, you just input the same commands and see if you win. I mean, sounds like it should be boring. It's okay. I mean, it's framed in the context of beating the hardest boss in the game, so sure. All right. I guess it's fun for me because I swear this is my I came up with this setup. I'm sure there's others maybe or variations of this, but oh, this is the AoE attack. Oh, okay, this comes out sometimes. Yeah, this is a disaster. I mean, this is the one case where if you could dodge every attack. No, you know what? Because what has to happen there, you have to have Sciel survive one hit, but Sciel die instead, so you have to purposely get hit once, which means, yeah, no, not happening. But yeah, in the video I put out, like, it took this many tries to get it because you're now, it's just too many coin tosses now in a row. So it better that you found the first one though, right? Because the reset is a lot faster. Holy crap, that's a lot of tails. But that's RNG. That's exactly what it's like. You know, you could have days where it's like 10 tails in a row or something, or 10 heads, so it's not impossible. It's so weird, probability. I mean, it's the whole RNG thing. Can you believe that an RNG thing when they code in a game, when you code it in a computer, it's just one line, right? And it's also interesting how like computers are really, they have to base the random number off a seed, which is something like, you know, they can pick something like what is it, the universal like time, because that's always going to be a different number, unique different number. But it's interesting how a computer, like in nature, cannot produce a random thing, unlike a human being. I guess you draw that comparison. They're so predictable. They're actually very anti-random as a thing. Weird. And the thing we crave so much in games, I think, is a degree of randomness. If everything was perfectly predictable, it is kind of boring. Which is interesting to me because it's not like the act of introducing randomness is that hard. It's just, for some reason, humans don't like perfect predictability. They want to be surprised sometimes, or like this, like just frustrated that RNG is not going their way, and they just keep banging their head against it until it does. You know, weird. Okay, here we go. 2 heads in a row. Big X on Simon. Sciel is ready to kill. Lucky day! You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, no, it's hopeless here. See, let's see if you're trying to continue to fight. Let's see, you try to do anything here. Like, look, try to shoot the guy. That health bar is not budging because you lost. We lost all those multipliers. Like, in that configuration, even if you were to perfectly parry everything, how many more Stendhals would it take? I don't know, rough math will tell me like 10? 15? Can you survive 15 rounds of his assaults? Probably more, because his speed advantage is insane. Like, he takes like, I don't know what his speed value is, but it's really high. Which is why you need the extra speed from Sciel, so that in the next phase, it's not good if he has 2 turns in a row, because then you're forced to dodge once as Sciel. Like, you have to. This way, it's just, okay, if he chooses to attack Sciel, perfect, right? I mean, that's what you want. Alright. Tails again. That's a lot of tails, okay, so... You can imagine that if it was, if Tails was just heads, then could have killed the boss by now. But I want an honest depiction of how this boss fight might be like for you guys, or anyone who's watching, because it does take this many tries. But the key is just not to be frustrated with the RNG. 1 in 8 is not that bad, odd-wise. You just get unlucky streaks. Like that. And of course, with RNG, like, if you have a 12% crit, you will crit very soon. It's just, if you can only have 1 shot per hour, it might take you 12 hours to crit. But if you get like 12 shots per second, you'll crit very soon, right? So, for like this, the key is just to do it quickly, and you'll see the outcome you want. It's funny how in the end, a boss like this is just an RNG game, or at least can be. Like, you can turn it into that. Now, one thing you might want to do is, there might be a play that just always kill his entire HP bar. Because from here, I'm not sure if it's possible to... Like, no, I don't think so. Like, there might be a play that Pictos where, like, if you drop her below low life, she gets another turn. But that's enough setup. This is fine. It was done before. It'll be done again. I'm just doing this because I don't know. Let's see how many tries it takes, just for my own, just to see what it's like. That's pretty insane to have it. Like, when it happens like that many times in a row, it's like, nah, it's just RNG. What was the fallacy? Like, just because you got 5 heads in a row or 5 tails in a row, doesn't mean the next one's going to be different. It's funny because the likelihood of that outcome is very low, but it makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense, actually. But anyway. Okay, first check. I don't think there's anything else you can do, really. This is the only thing you can do.
Montre-moi ce que tu sais faire.
Alright, Simon, don't hit Sciel. Very nice. That's good. Stack all you want. Here we are again. So, you know, for RNG testing, you know, not that it's not big of a deal. We've arrived here, what, 3 times already? And failed the first 2 times, right? So, don't people like shake the dice or something? Like lucky thing, lucky roll? Lucky roll! I believe in... Yeah, there we go. There's the outcome you want to see. So, how long was that? This is from also for my information. That was 24 minutes. Okay, so I don't know. There's an argument to be made that if you're good at the fight, you can most certainly beat him in less than 24 minutes. But this is not a good case. This is maybe the average case or below average case. 24 minutes. And it was chill. I don't feel mad. I don't feel like... Maybe someone might say it's sad. Like you should feel like the struggle. I agree. but not when it's so lopsided like this, okay? Like a Millennia fight, an Elden Ring fight, I'm down. I want to join that. I want to experience that. And did you notice? The game makes it really hard to one-shot these bosses. You can't really one-shot them. There's like a few videos I've seen. The setup is so elaborate. It's like, oh my god, all these items and things you have to collect, and then you have to... It's not a guarantee you can execute that real time. I mean, okay, some of them you are, but like the setup is so extreme that you're like, nah. It is actually more pleasant overall to beat the boss legit. And I have, and it's fun. It's really fun. This boss, I don't think so. I just don't. He's overtuned to fight normal.